Excuse me. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope you all are doing well today. I'm Larry, the Batman fan. Today we're going to be doing part 2 of the pickups video. This is pickups video number 18, part 2. The only reason we're making this a two-parter is because I just felt like if I were to have my editor put it together, the video would be too long. It'd probably be like an hour and 40 minutes or something. And I just feel like person would not watch it all the way through. So I'm breaking this up into a second part instead. We're filming this video here as well, so that way you guys can see both parts. But be sure to check out part 1, so that way you can see what games I actually picked up for part 1. But this is going to finish it off with part 2. So let's not waste any of your time. You guys wanted to see the games and the stuff that I picked up. I have a few non-gaming related stuff, and then I have a bunch of gaming stuff. So, I'm thinking we'll start with the non-gaming related stuff. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way first. So, I picked this up. I got most of this stuff off of eBay, but I opened this up, but I didn't open it too carefully, so I actually broke the seal on this. But I needed some undershirts, so I have some undershirts here, just brand new, Hanes, and they're in my size, got them right here, nothing too crazy, they're just undershirts, but I needed more undershirts, so I was willing to pay 20 bucks to get those, I needed them. And I also picked up some swimming trunks, because I'm going to need them for when I go swimming. I am planning on going swimming soon, so I got those. I got them in my size. Nice blue, like an aqua blue color, not like navy blue or dark blue. It's aqua blue, but they're really nice, and glad to have these. I have another pair of swimming trunks somewhere in my room. I'm not sure where they are, but I have those, and I did have a pair of Batman swimming trunks, but they were left behind in Florida. Sucks. And when I looked online on eBay, they went up to a size extra large. I have seen them in a 2X. I had a 2X, pair of Batman swimming trunks that I loved, but I can't fit into an extra large. It's just too tight around my waist. I can't fit into anything smaller than a 2X, so I have to get at least a 2X or a 3X in the swimming trunks. Otherwise, they won't fit. So, but they didn't have it, so I had to get something like this instead, because they didn't have the Batman swimming trunks that I like a lot. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. So, 2 or 3 days ago, they had May 3rd. That is, they had a free comic book day, and I went over there. I walked in that rain, even though I didn't really want to go in the rain. I couldn't wait for the bus because they were on like an hour schedule on the weekend, so I couldn't wait. So 2 days ago, I went there, but I walked. I made it all the way over there, and to my surprise, Earthworld Comic Books had not only free comic books they were giving out, they had a lot of employees there, probably about 5 people up in the comic book shop, and 2 or 3 out at the booth, this big tent. And they were selling merchandise there, shirts, pens with the name Earthworld Comics on them, watches and wristbands. But they were also selling food, which was really cool as well. So it was nice. They had their own little truck there. They were selling hot dogs, hamburgers, onion rings, French fries, and pizza as well, which was really cool. Um, so yeah, and they had sodas and waters and things like that. I didn't partake in any of that. I didn't buy any of that. I was going there for the comic books, of course. Now, some people, when they were going in there, they were going for the free ones, not really buying shit. And personally, excuse me. So sorry. I personally don't agree with that because you're going into a business, and a business does want and expect you to pay for something. Um, Although I think businesses could be a bit more lenient when someone really has to go to the bathroom. Because if you have to go poop and there's no other place around you where you can go to the bathroom, and that person doesn't have any money, that person should be able to use the bathroom without being hassled by the people working there. You know, that's why I don't like mess with Dunkin' Donuts like that, because a lot of times Dunkin' Donuts they expect you to pay, buy coffee or buy a donut before using their bathroom. Otherwise, they say nope, you gotta leave, you gotta get out of here. So it depends on the circumstance, really. But anyways, I managed to get them all back in pretty good shape, except the Godzilla one got a little wet, unfortunately. So it's a little wrinkly on the first like 2 pages. But I have it right here. I got Godzilla, the New Heroes, free comic book day. They said I could pick out 5 comic books for free, but honestly, there were like 8 to 10 others that I was interested in. I was interested in the Mega Man, the Spider-Man and Venom one. I was interested in the Avengers. I was interested in the Fantastic Four and X-Men. I was interested in the Street Fighter one, you know, and the Energon one I was kind of interested in as well. I've looked up the whole listing. There was about 45 comic books available for free comic book day. But the thing that sucks is that they said you can't have more than 5 unless you're a married couple with kids. Then we'll allow you to take more. And I'm not married and I don't have any children, so I guess I couldn't do that. So and I got the Godzilla. I got Slow Monkey, which honestly was not my first choice, but I did hear the guy say, guys, don't just pick the popular ones. Be sure to get the less popular ones to support the people who will make the less popular comic books. And I was like, you know what? I think he's right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick out Slow Monkey. Pick out something that I'm not too familiar with. Because I was gonna get the Avengers one or the Fantastic Four and X-Men one, but when he said that, I ended up putting the Avengers one and the Fantastic Four one down, and then just started rummaging through it again and looking around the table in the back to see if there was anything else that I don't know. I definitely didn't want to get Dr. Seuss or that Creaky Acres one because those were like the worst ones in my opinion. Like those, I just had no interest in. You know, I'm not into that shit. The Tamagotchi one, I'm not into that shit. It's corny. It's corny crap. I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right here. It's pretty cool. I like the Ninja Turtles. I have a Ninja Turtle shirt. Of course, I wasn't going to leave without a Spider-Man one, so I got the Spider-Man one there. Absolutely free. All these were free. And then I also got the Star Wars one because I am a fan of the Star Wars. But surprisingly, there were 2 or 3 of the Star Wars ones available to pick through. And this is the one I decided to go for. This was the most non-kiddie one. I mean, they had the Star Wars Jedi one, which just looked kind of more on the kiddie side, the more G-rated, Star Wars comic book. This one's more PG-13. You know what I mean? So I decided to go with that one, or PG. And then in the beginning, Star Wars movies were rated PG, but then they changed the rating to PG-13 because they were a little bit more intense with the violence in it. And since I was in there, I wasn't going to be a cheap ass and not buy any comic books. So I went ahead and I bought 2 comic books in there to support them. I bought this one, and it's old. They're both old. I bought Batman Detective Comics, or Detective Comics Batman. I bought that. Yeah, it looked pretty cool. It's got Batman on the front and the Joker. You know, $7. You know, I normally don't pay more than $10 for a comic book. I see no need to pay for it. Actually, there was one time I paid $20 for a comic book, but it was that Dick Tracy comic book, and that comic book was from like the 1950s. So I bought it, or it was 25 or 26 with the the shipping. I bought it off my guy John, you know. He sells me comic books, and he's got movies that he sells as well, and things like that. But I'm normally against buying comic books at crazy prices like 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 bucks a comic book. I mean, who does that? I mean, don't they realize that they have to pay their bills and they have to be able to eat? I mean, I just don't see the point in buying a comic book at $800. It's just not happening. Not for me, at least. So the most I ever paid for a comic book growing up was 10 bucks. Actually, when I was a kid, I was even cheaper than that. I was like $1, $2, $3. My allowance was only about $10 when I was a kid. Um, but anyways, I got the Avengers right here for the a comic book. That's the other one I picked up, $5. Not bad for $5. A 60-cent one from 1982 or 1983. Not bad. So, all right, now we're gonna get into the games. I got this box here, and yeah, I cut it off so that y'all motherfuckers, those fucking trolls out there, can't dox my address. Although I think one of them already did, but fuck that guy for doing so. He's a troll account of me, pretending to be me, impersonating me. Screw him. But yeah, I wasn't gonna have this on here with my address on it, obviously. So, this was a Wii lot that had I think 11 games in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11. 11 games. Yep. And the titles were decent ones. They weren't crap ones like Princess and the Frog, Tangled, the Barbie games, Anubis 2, Ninja Breadman, The Amazing Race. Crap games like 30 Great Games and 101 to 1. Crap like that sucks. It wasn't anything like that. Anything garbage. So I decided to buy it. I sent the seller an offer. The seller wanted 40 bucks for the lot. I offered the seller, I think, 23 or 24 bucks. The seller declined and sent me an offer for 30. I was like, nah, I'll send him another offer, of course. Counter offer at 27 bucks, and the seller took it. But there was $10 shipping, so I got it for 38 bucks or 38.50, something like that, or 39, somewhere around that price. But I got Dance Dance Revolution Hottest Party, which looks like you can use the nunchuck with that in the remote. There's 3 of these on the Wii. I used to have the third one. I don't have it anymore, but there's 3. I know that. But yeah, um, it's a dancing game. I assume it's decent because the Dance Dance Party arcade machine I played back when I was a teenager was actually pretty fun. I was no good at it. I sucked at it, but I don't know. Maybe this is pretty good on the Wii. I mean, it doesn't look like it's something that's shovelware, so I might enjoy that. Next up, we have a shooting game. There's a couple of shooting games in here. We got Cabela's Hunting Expeditions. I don't really like the Cabela games, to be honest with you, because they were very technical with who you can shoot, what kind of animal you can shoot, like a bear at certain parts of the game. You can't shoot a deer. Other times you can shoot a moose, but you can't shoot a deer. I just hated that. I have most of the Cabela games on the PS2. There was a few that I'm missing. I know there was like 13 or 14, but I just don't have the desire to pick them up because I played them on the PS2 and I didn't really care for them that much, you know. But I guess it's okay to have this on the Wii. I know there's like 5 or 6 of them on the Wii. We have NPPL, which stands for National Professional Paintball League Championship Paintball 2009. This is in the same vein as the Greg Hastings or Hastings paintball games. There's 2 of them. The first one being on the Xbox and I think the PS2, and the second one's exclusive, I think, on the. Or no, no, no. The second one is on the PS2, and it's also on the Wii. You know, so it's on two different consoles. It might be on the Xbox 360 as well. But this is a first-person shooter game, and it's like a done in a paintball style. Um, I've heard it's crap, to be honest with you, but I haven't played it, so I have no idea. But the Greg Hastings game on the original Xbox, I owned that, and I thought it was an okay game, but it was hard as hell. It really was. But who knows? Maybe this one will be fun. Never know. Didn't look like a crappy game, so I'm like, fuck it. I'll get it. Or, sorry, I'm trying not to say the F word in my videos. I'm trying to keep them more PG. Sorry. Forgive me. I got Sniper Elite, so now I have the Wii version of this. When you guys see the Wii Hidden Gems Part 5 video, I did mention this in the video, but I have the PS2 version. Now I have the Wii version. Because this is actually a good series. They're up to Sniper Elite 5 for the Switch, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and the Xbox One and Xbox Series X. But this is the first one, you know. And it is a good third-person shooter game. It is good. So, but that game is not exclusive because it's also on PS2. So it's on both. And it's one of the few mature games. Besides Call of Duty, Mad World, No More Heroes, Manhunt 2, Escape from Bug Island, Cursed Mountain. There's you'd be surprised. There's about 43 or 44 Nintendo Wii games that got an M rating. Marines Modern Urban Combat. This is the only one in the lot that I already own. I have this on the Wii, so I don't need this one. So this one's going to my friend Jackal Goldkick. He's going to get this. It's going to be part of his birthday and Christmas gift. So look at it. It's complete. Let me just check the disc real quick. Under this lighting, it looks Minty Mac. Looks good like Robin Hood. No scratches. So that's excellent. You'll like this one. It's a good game. It's a first-person shooter. I also have for him, because I have two copies of it, I got Ghost Recon as well. This one's a third-person shooter. And surprisingly, is one of the only third-person shooter games on the Wii. Besides Bionicle Heroes, and I also found out that Chicken Little made a third-person shooter game. Who would have thought? The PS2 version is not a first-person shooter or third-person shooter game. And Rogue Trooper got a port on the Wii, but it wasn't exclusive to the Wii because it was also on the PS2 and the PlayStation 4. Anyways, here's Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Not going to keep that one. That one's going to my friend. Alright, we have... Alright, it's complete. Got Cabela's Big Game Hunter 2009. I think this was also on PS2 as well. In fact, I might own it. It's Dangerous Hunts. There's a couple of the Dangerous Hunts. Dangerous Hunts 2, 2009, 2010, and 2011. And I think there was a 2012 one as well. I have the Dangerous Hunts 1 and 2, I believe, on the PS2. I have those. And now I have this one. Even though I'm not a big fan of the Cabela games. Let's just pull these out. Get this box out of the way. So next up, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I already own this one. In fact, I think I have two copies of it. And I own it for 360 as well. And I've owned it for PS3 in the past. So I might pass this off to my friend Jack Goldkick as a gift, because I don't really need this in my collection. But I will say that I have played this. I beat it before. The Wii version's good. It is good. It's just as good as the PS3 and the 360 version. One thing that it adds to the game play is that it's done with the Wii remote and controllers. Or the nunchuck, rather. So when you're moving, the movements are like this. When you shoot, aim up, and down it aims up and down, So it plays a little bit differently than the 360 and the PlayStation 3 version. I guess they had to sort of compromise for it or compensate somehow for that reason. But I mean, it worked. It worked pretty well. One also thing I must say that's really strange is how they got all the Call of Duty games on the Wii at the time. They got the Call of Duty Black Ops, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's the fourth game. The fifth game, Call of Duty 5 World at War, and this, and Call of Duty 3, but they never got Modern Warfare 2 out on the Wii. Why? I don't understand it. Like, they had all the other ones, but they did not get Modern Warfare 2 on there, which is strange. But, yeah, I already have that one. Here's Call of Duty 5 World at War for the Wii. I don't know. I might keep this just to add it to my Wii collection because it's not a crap title, even though I have it on the 360. Got Call of Duty Black Ops. Pretty cool for the Wii, even though I have it on 360. Oh, yeah, this one is the only title that I would consider crap, but all honesty, it's not shovelware. I'll be honest with you guys, it isn't a shovelware title compared to Anubis 2, Ninja Bread Man, and 30 Great Games, just to name a few crap titles. But it's Madden NFL 07. I'm not really a fan of football games. I don't really like football games. They infuriate the hell out of me. I can never get anywhere in these games. I always get sacked or I always lose in this game, you know. So it's not really my cup of tea personally, but maybe I'll throw this up on the bay, sell it for $7 plus shipping, at least get some money out of it. And yeah, I will be putting it at $7 because if I put it at like $3 or $4, I'll earn nothing off of it. And then we have, which is surprising because this might be, if me and Jackal Gold Cake decide to do a worst video games to play part 3, this might actually be up there because I played the first PS2 game, Thrillville, and I didn't really like the game. There was a lot of neat ideas being a park manager. You get to play as a boy or a girl in the game, set up like parks and stuff, and then you actually get to go on the rides and stuff, which is cool. But after that, the fun just stops. Like, it's good for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then after it gets really repetitive and boring. So this might be a rant. This might be one of those games that I play that I don't like because I have played the first one and I did not really like it. So we'll see. I never owned this before, but it's nice to have it to see if it sucks, if it's just as bad as the first one, or if it's an improvement over the first game. So Thrillville 2 off the rails. For now, consider yourself lucky. I also know that this game is on PS2 as well, so anybody out there said, you did forgot to mention that, well, I just did. So, shut up. Next up we have is Puzzle Quest. Good game. It's basically a RPG game, puzzle game. It's a puzzle game at its core, but it does have some RPG elements in it too. And it's a hidden gem. It's a good game on the Wii. I don't think it was on anything else other than the Nintendo DS. It might have been on the PS2 or PS3, but I'm not entirely sure. But I know there was a port on the Nintendo DS of this game. But other than that, it might be exclusive. Well, then again, how could it be exclusive if it's on the handheld? I guess it's the only port of the game that you can play on your TV. That's what I'm saying, But I'm also saying that may not be entirely true because it might have been on PS3 or PS2. Alright, I think we got a couple more Wii games to go over, and then we'll get into the other games I picked up here. Yep, we got a stack. Nice stack. Got more to go. Let me move these books out of the way. swig. Alright. Now on a different lot, I got some other Nintendo Wii games, and the seller even had 2 Nintendo Wii U games, so it was nice. Although a couple of the titles I already have, so I'm going to be listing. I did list them online already, so I hope that I'll get the money for that soon. Anyways, I purchased this one separately. Kawasaki Snowmobiles. If you saw my Nintendo Wii Hidden Gems Part 4 video featuring Bakio 6 Slime, which go check out her videos. Please go support her. She's a good person. She's a good YouTuber. She does a lot of gaming stuff. She does a lot of Fortnite videos. She really likes Fortnite. She really likes anime stuff like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and maybe even Pokemon and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! She's into that sort of thing. But she has a gaming channel and she talks a lot about games and stuff, and I think you will really like her. But this game I mentioned in the video, and it's a Hidden Gems game for the Wii. It isn't garbage. It's actually pretty good. It's a snowmobile, snowmobile racing game on the Wii, and it's actually a really fun game. I definitely recommend it if you have a Wii, and it's real cheap. I got this for $8. $8. That's a really good deal. So this game is under $10, and it can be had for around the $5 to $8. You have no excuse. Pick it up. It's good. If you're a fan of racing games, this will be right up your alley. It definitely will. It's arcadey and it's fun. There's another there's another snowmobile game on the Wii as well that's good. That's Ski-Doo Challenge. That one's also pretty good. Star Wars The Clone Wars Lightsaber Duels. I already have this, so this is a duplicate for me, so I'm selling this online. Saint, which is a terrible game on the Wii. It's a very bad shooter game, shoot 'em up game, because it's really slow paced and it sucks. But you know, I'm gonna sell this because I already have a copy of it, and I don't need another copy of this piece of crap, anyways. So I'm just bundling that with the Star Wars game and a couple others I got here. Far Cry Vengeance, this is another one I have. I don't need this in the collection, so I'm going to sell that too in the same lot. And then I have Monster Hunter 3, Tree, T-R-I, for the Wii. It's good. It's a good RPG game, but I already have it, so this is a double for me, so I don't need it. This was the main reason why I got the thing, was for Hyrule Warriors. This is a great game on the Wii. I'm looking forward to playing or Wii U. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing it because it's good. It's a beat 'em up style game. If you're a fan of Dynasty Warriors, but you like playing as Zelda or Link, this is up your alley. This is something you definitely want to play. And if you don't have a Wii U but you own a Switch, you can get the Switch version. They made a remastered version of the first game, and they made Hyrule Warriors 2, Age of Calamity, which you could get that as well. So you got 2 games that you could get on the Switch. Or if you're a collector and you want to get the original, this is the original version. Cooking Mama, Cook Off. I might actually bundle this with the Wii games because I don't give a shit about this game. I don't care for this game, don't care for its gameplay. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like cooking simulation type of games. It's not my kind of game. It's very girly-ish and kiddie, and it ain't my cup of tea, you know. But I didn't own it, but I don't know. I might just sell that with a lot because I have no interest in that. Next one we have is another Wii U game. We have Pokken Tournament or Pokken Tournament. I know it's a Pokemon game with Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and all those other Pokemon characters, but I'm not really a Pokemon fan. I'm not a fanatic of Pokemon or anime in general. The only animes I really got into was Yu-Gi-Oh! And Death Note. That was really it. I wasn't, and card captors, I guess, too. But other than that, I didn't really care for anime stuff. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try, just to screw around a bit. I've heard it's a fighting game with Pokemon characters, so I don't know. Maybe I'll like it or maybe I'll just hate it. I don't know. There's the other copy of Ghost Recon, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. I have Nights into Dreams, Journey to Dreams, or Journey of Dreams rather. It's the sequel to the Saturn one. It's a good game on the Wii. The Godfather Black Hand Edition, which is also available on PS2 and Xbox 360. Although the PS2 version doesn't say Black Hand Edition, just says The Godfather. But good Wii game, and it's a mature title too. The Conduit 2, glad to have that. I needed this. I had the first one. I got this one now, so I'm looking forward to playing that. That lot, as I said, had 11 games. I think the main reason why I paid $27, I think, for it was because of this game. Because this game is not cheap. This game will run you about $40 for a copy. You know, so this, for some reason, I don't know why, but I guess it's because it was a late title. It's worth money. It says 2010, so it was 3 years before the Wii stopped making games, or 2014. It's strange though how the price just skyrocketed on this. It's $40 to $50, but I guess the seller didn't know, so got him, you know, caught him slipping. And then this one I bought separately. I have Spectrobe's Origins. It's a good game on the Wii. It's a good RPG. It's an action RPG. You know, it's that guy that you play as. There's a guy in it. There's a girl that also helps you in the game as well. But it's good. They also had like 2 or 3 of these on the DS. In fact, I think this game was ported to the DS as well. Spectrobe's Origin. There's Spectrobe's Origins, and Spectrobe's Beyond the Portals. So there's 3 of them. I own one of them on the DS. You know, I played it a little bit. I need to get back into that. I need to find my 3DS. I forgot where I put my 3DS. I might have to charge it too. Battery might be dead in it. But anyways, yeah, it's nice to have this. It was the only version we got for the Wii, out of the three or four games that they made for the Wii. So it's nice to have that because it's a good Wii game, and it's perfect if you like RPG type games. Alright, next up we have is Mission Impossible Operation Surma. DK Oldies screwed me. They didn't give me my Xbox game, but I dodged that, even though they took my money, so fuck them for that. Or, sorry, screw them for that. I mean, I got the GameCube version instead for around $20, so I have this version. Only thing it doesn't have is the manual. It's missing the manual, but I don't really care. I'm just glad to have another GameCube game in my collection and boost my collection a little bit. Heard it's like a stealth game. It's better than the one on the N64 because that one sucks. But, you know, yeah, so it's nice to have this. So the first part, I meant to show this in the video, but I didn't. There was a game that a seller sold me a few months back, but apparently didn't have a copy of it. It was Bloodstained, Symphony of the Night. He didn't have any copies of it, so he said I could pick out 2 games for free as a way of saying sorry. So I got Left Alive for the PS4, and it was factory sealed. It's still sealed. Look forward to opening that and playing it soon. I heard it's a third-person shooter game on the PS4. Never played it though. And the other game I requested was like I think Dragon Quest Heroes 2, because I own the first one, I believe, but I don't own the second one. But when he sent it in the mail, he sent me one of the worst games on PS4. He sent me Fallout New 76, which I like the Fallout games, don't get me wrong, but New 76 is a horrible game because of the glitches and everything, the bugs. I heard terrible things about it, you know, but that game I have listed online with a bunch of other games that I'm trying to sell. I have ATV Off-Road Fury. I picked up another copy of it because my copy is really scratched up. I only paid $5 and change for this game, so it's not bad for $5. There was another seller that was trying to get $10 for this game. I'm thinking, oh no, you don't. Not gonna give you $10 for that. So I offered that seller, I think, 6, and the seller declined. Then I offered him 7. Seller declined. Trying to get me to pay like $8.50 for it. So I just declined that seller and found a different seller that was selling this for I think $7 or $8, and I offered him $5 and he took it. So glad to have that in my collection again. And a Minty Mac disc that's in good shape, that'll work fine. I do like the ATV Off-Road Fury games. I think they're pretty good games. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. I finally bit the bullet and bought this. I bought 2 games because the seller had a deal. It said free shipping if you buy at least 2 games, and if you buy 4 or 5 games, you get 1 for free, and you get free shipping. So I didn't feel like buying 5 of them, and plus some of the games weren't really that good, or they were ones that I already had. So I just went ahead and picked up 2. I know this is also on GameCube and Xbox. Never played it before. Heard it's an action game. Look forward to checking it out. And then this game, which is going to be mentioned in my Wii Hidden Gems video, because it is on the Wii and the PSP, but it's also on the PS2, is SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1. This is a good game. If you don't have a Neo Geo and you're looking to play games from that era, but don't have the money to spend on a Neo Geo and those giant cartridges that are bigger than both of my hands, you know, then that's perfect to have this. Because you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You get 16 games on one disc. That's a hell of a deal for a $15 game or $20 game. It's really worth the money, you know, if you can find this game. Definitely seek this one out because it's a really fun game. You get what you see on the cover there. The Metal Slug, Art of Fighting, Magician Lord, the soccer game, Shock Troopers, and a bunch of others. You get another King of Fighters game, you know, Top Hunter. You can see. Yeah. Alright. Moving on, we got a few more to go through. Oh, yeah. This is the other undershirt. I picked up Lagoon for the Super Nintendo. I wanted to add a few more RPGs to my Super Nintendo collection because the only RPG games I really have on the Super Nintendo is Super Mario RPG, which cost me $60. It wasn't a cheap game, better price than what DK Oldies wanted for it, because they wanted almost $100 for that game. I was thinking, oh hell no, I'm not paying that price for that game. You know, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, and games like Earthbound and Secret of Mana, they're just too expensive for me to get. And Chrono Trigger, that one is stupidly expensive, like $200. I'm not gonna be able to afford that. I have to pay bills and stuff, you know. So I can't do it. So Lagoon, yeah, Lagoon is a cheap one. It's around a $15 game. You can't go wrong for that. You know, I might pay $20 with the shipping if you buy it off of eBay. I bought it off of eBay, so I think I got my copy for $15. You know, with the shipping included, because I was haggling with the seller on a good price until he finally agreed on the price. So it's nice to have that. I've heard it's a shit game, but I'm still willing to give it a try and see for myself if I think it's a shit game or if it's actually worthwhile. And then we also have, and they did send it to me in this bag, and then it also put it in that bubble wrap mailer, Ultima, the Lost Prophet, or sorry, the False Prophets. Yeah, nice to have that. I played the Ultima game on the NES. In fact, I know there's 3 of them on the NES. The one I have is the most playable one, which was a good game overall, but it did have some minor annoyances in the game. But hopefully that's a good one. And like I said, it's nice to have some RPGs in the collection. Alright, next up we have for NES, we have Guerrilla War. I picked that up. It was pretty cheap, and it looked like an interesting title. I never played it before. I'm looking forward to playing it. Might play a little bit like Contra, but I'm not entirely sure. But I look forward to checking it out and see how it plays. And I also picked up Skate or Die 2, but not off of DK Oldies because they never sent me the damn game. So I went ahead and I picked it up off of eBay. It was only $11, so not bad for $11. I have both of them now in my collection. Um, I think that's it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Although I do have a copy of Valhalla Knights, Edgar's Sagas. It's spelled Edar, or Elder Sagas rather. Eldar. It's spelled differently than it sounds. It's not spelled with E. It's spelled with an A. So I have that coming in the mail, and I also do have a copy of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch coming in the mail. Um, that's about it. I didn't get anything else, but not bad. I mean, for what we got within the past couple of months, that's quite a haul, you know. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this pickups videos, and I thank you for getting me this over 300 subscribers. Hopefully, we can get somewhere in the 400 subscriber range soon. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and subscribe to Larry the Batman Fan. You get some of the greatest content as far as gaming goes that you'll ever see or watch. Go more in depth on the games than most people do. There's only a few people that do this, that go in depth on the games and talk about each game. Most people that are collectors now, they're not doing that anymore. They just show the game and then move on to the next game. I don't do that. I like to be opinionative and give my comments and my thoughts on each game. So I hope that you'll consider subscribing and watching my videos. God bless you all. Thank you for watching and take care. Peace.